So I'm going to begin my reflection talking about Edward Jenner, the scientist that created vaccines. He originally began with a patient that was 8 years old who had smallpox, and he took the blisters from the milkmaids that had cowpox and inoculated the 8-year-old patient with the blisters from that cowpox. The patient then recovered, and that's where he first got the idea of vaccinations. VACA comes from cow, from the cowpox vaccine there. So Edward Jenner did all this work. He hypothesized, he collected the data, he had the patients. He not only used the one patient, but he had several patients to test this theory on that the cowpox treated and therefore was a vaccine for smallpox. He tested this, and he did all this work just for us to fast forward to 1998 and Andrew Wakefield debunk vaccinations and say that they are linked to autism. Andrew Wakefield, also a doctor, in 1998 came up with the idea that vaccines caused autism, specifically the MMR vaccination. And he had Jenny McCarthy on his side, a public figure, to kind of back him up with this theory. And he only had a couple patients, I believe 12, as the presentation discussed. Patients are in his data collection to come up with this theory. And I just find it crazy that so many people go along with this, and because of it we see a resurgence of measles, that we see whooping cough occur again, and that we get high numbers of deaths each year from the flu, and there's a vaccination that has been created to kind of protect us from these strands of the flu that we see each year. And lastly, a question was proposed in the presentation as, is there a way we can get parents to vaccinate, or is Andrew Wakefield's a published statement too far to come back from? And I don't think that his statement was too far to come back to. As of now, we're starting to kind of get parents to vaccinate their kids again. We did come up with the anti-vaccination movement and all of that, but I think we just simply need time just to get parents to trust their doctors again, to give them scientific evidence as to there being no correlation between vaccinations and autism. I think that the parents really need that confidence and know that that their children won't be harmed from vaccines. And so I don't think that his statements are too far to come from. It took all this time for us to come to the liking of vaccines, and I don't think that we're too far from us becoming to get our kids vaccinated again. And I don't think that movement will last that long, especially with the virus, the coronavirus right now. I mean, I feel like people will be clawing to get that vaccination. So there's just always a different movement, and hopefully we'll see the end to that, because due to that movement we see so many diseases and viruses resurge, not just in our nation, but across the nations globally. So the more we get vaccinated, the less outbreaks that we see. The more that we can create a herd immunity for those who cannot go get vaccinated themselves, those who are pregnant women, people who are cancer patients, and etc. The list goes on. Those are the people that we need to protect, and without herd immunity, we can't protect them. And without people getting vaccinated, there's no herd immunity.